All right, it's about time for us to start hanging these floor joists on this side of the living room. Before we get to doing that, I've got a big mess in here. We need to start cleaning up all of these old joists, the old rim joist, everything I've cut and kind of put down here in the crawl space. Do something with this ductwork, and then we can start thinking about hanging those joists up. For right now, we need to get all this mess out of this house. Not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with all of it. Might cut down some of these boards that aren't completely rotted for use in other woodworking projects, things like that. If not, I'm gonna haul them off up into the pasture. We've got a big gully, basically chasm canyon, hole in the ground that we throw decomposable materials into, so fence posts and lumber and things of that nature. So that's where that stuff will be headed to. I guess I'll just load up several bucketfuls in the 574 International and haul it up. I really need to get a wagon for that thing. That would be awesome. I used to have several wagons, but when my father passed away, we sold tons of the farm equipment. We had so much more stuff. Sold about 3 tractors, a whole bunch of planters, whole bunch of plows, hay balers, combine, cotton wagons, all kind of stuff. We grew cotton for a very short amount of time. We did soybeans for a while, corn for a while, just kind of rotated through that. Then we kind of got after I don't know, probably when I was about 10 or 11, we got out of the so much the need to quit saying but I'm having a major brain fart right now. We got so much out of the there we go again. It's like a habit for me. We got out of crops and focused more on livestock. Before I was born and up until I was a few years old, we had hogs. When I came along, they got rid of the hogs. They thought it would be too dangerous for me. Being young, getting near the hogs and the pigs and everything, get trampled or whatever. So instead, they focused primarily to beef cattle because that's a hell of a lot safer. Either one of them would have killed me in a second, but whatever their rationale or line of thinking was, Dad got into beef cattle and did that all the way up until he passed away in 2004. About a year after that, we finally sold all the livestock off and then started selling off the farm equipment, because at the time I had no desire to do anything with the farm or anything outdoors, agriculture, anything. I was fed up and done with it from childhood of getting up early every weekend and stringing barbed wire fence and all the mess with feeding the cows and worming the cows and just all the day-to-day stuff. I was so fed up with it when I was in high, because I was a senior in high school when my dad passed away, and I was just done. I didn't want nothing to do with it. So a year later, because Mama made a promise to keep it going for at least a year to my father, and we started selling all the stuff, everything off, and I don't know, 3 or 4 years later, I started getting back into it. Well, not back into it, because I had no desire to be in it. I just got where, I don't know, it started clicking, made sense to me, what he enjoyed about it, and got back to growing a garden every year. We used to do that every single year. Dad used to grow hot chili peppers. He'd grow tons of dang chili peppers. I couldn't stand anything hot, and he wasn't good at tolerating spice, but he'd take them to work, and everybody he worked with would buy them, and he had a whole bunch of other people that loved buying them from him. And tomatoes, which he was great at growing tomatoes. I can't keep a tomato plant alive to save my soul. I never got his trick to keeping tomatoes going. Squash, zucchini, all that stuff I can grow pretty well, but I never figured out his daggum secret to tomatoes, because he'd have them growing up to about our chest, if not higher, as long as he could stake them high enough. And putting out tomatoes bigger than your fist. But yeah, so I got back into growing garden every year and getting on the tractor more, and I don't know, it kind of clicked. Like I said, I saw what he enjoyed about it, and I kind of regret the way it went now. I regret that I let things get so bad off. That I let the farm get so bad off, sell off all the equipment and everything else, and now I'm trying to basically start all over. But I don't know. I don't know I even got on this story or where I'm going with it. But anyway, we need to clean out this living room, so I'll be back when I get some headway on that. All right, so I've gone ahead and done my layout on the rim joist for where the joists are gonna go. I've got one little piece here I'm using to mock up and start one of the joist hangers on this end. And then I'm gonna use the same to get the hanger up on the other end, and that can make my measurement across the two for the length of my joist and get her in there. So that's what I'm gonna do next. But basically I marked my mark, put my 2x10 in there. The only reason I did it on this one is because it is extremely close to the little footer pillar there on the foundation, and I didn't want to have the hanger interfere with the brickwork or the joist. So all right, so joist length is going to be 172 inches. Time to measure it out and cut it on this new 2x10. Man, was that ever a pain to get in there by myself. But first floor joist is in. Just kind of got them tacked in place right now with just a few fasteners. So I'm gonna go back in and finish nailing these up, and probably call it a day because it's about 6:30, and I haven't eaten since 7:30 this morning, so getting a little hungry. But yeah, let's nail this thing in and get packed up. All right, first joist is in. nailed in place, hangers on, good to go. Let's pack it up and call it a night. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video.